You're listening to Community Voice PHL. You're listening to Community Voice PHL, an award-winning talk show that informs, engages, and inspires. Hey, thanks again for tuning in to Community Voice PHL Talk Show. Community Voice is a talk show that highlights the value-based programs and services that people of color are doing all across the nation and right here in the tri-state area. We'll inform you about events that are happening in the city. We'll have engaging interviews with amazing people who will inspire you to get involved with building caring and prosperous communities. So once again, thanks for listening to Community Voice PHL Talk Show, a show that informs, engages, and inspires. You're tuning in to WPPM LP Philadelphia 106.5. So again, as always, thanks for being on. We're thankful for being on the airways and on YouTube channels and podcast tunes for you every week. And excited to have with me my colleague in this, I don't want to say crime, but, colleague in this podcast world, Nick Best. What's up, good brother? How's it going?
I'm great. Hey, it might be crime to certain people when you're speaking truth. You never know.
Yeah, it might be, but I want to hold off on that because we're on public access radio, so we don't want to put that energy out there.
True.
Then our show get held back a couple of weeks, while we get disciplined.
Oh boy.
So listen, right? Before we get into what's happening in your world, because I know it's a lot of things been happening from week to week, because you're always out there in that creative space doing the good. I want to just share with you some of the feedback that I got from the question you dropped at the end of the last show. Not really a question, but more or less a challenge. You dropped the challenge, and the challenge was, how long will it take for you, or can you go an hour without engaging on social media when you wake up in the morning? And you said just an hour from social media, not like text messages or emails, or if you use your phone for an alarm, anything like that. So now, we asked people to send us their email feedback to that, to that challenge, see if they could do it. And a lot of them said they can't, man. They can't.
No? Listen, I'll be honest. I made it about most of the week. It was 2 mornings where I slipped up and I got on real quick and I'm like, whoa, what am I doing? And got right back off.
Yeah. So for me, it was like, if you count like the 7 days out the week, it was like maybe 4. I was able to actually do that and not, touch my social media for about an hour. So it was about 4 of those 7 days, man. So because I was always remember your voice in my head, man. I was like,
oh man, that's a horrible alarm clock to listen to.
No, not for the alarm clock, but I'm just saying, as soon as I used my phone, it was like, that's cool. He says it's a horrible alarm clock.
I don't even like hearing my own voice in my head sometimes. Like, Nick, put that phone down. What are you doing? Put that phone down. All right, shut up, man.
Well, but yeah, so most of the people said they couldn't do it. Most of them said maybe half hour. The most responses was 10 minutes. There you go, 10 minutes without engaging in social media, because they said once they check their email and once they answering emails or text messages or thing like that, then they left for going to social media. So I said about 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's a gateway. It really is. Once you start playing with something and you just get into that loop of, all right, well, I might as well check this too. I got a message on here. So I understand, but it's improvement. It's baby steps as long as we're getting somewhere.
It's baby. So now you got people at the 10-minute mark. So now you
let's go for 15.
Right. So now you're gonna move it up to 15. So cool. So we got them started. So
there we go.
That's what's up. So yeah, I just wanted to at least share that with you. But if you're just tuning in for the first time, we appreciate you. We land on social media. Instagram is our main platform. It's Community Voice PHL Talk Show. And if you look at the ticker below, you can see how to follow us on Instagram, Community Voice PHL, and the ingenious.Nick. Follow him as well. So those are ways you can catch up with us. And also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Community Voice PHL Talk Show, and our Apple Podcast, which is also Community Voice PHL Talk Show. If you want to send us an email or feedback about this episode or any other previous episodes you may get a chance to check out, send us an email to communityvoicephl@gmail.com, communityvoicephl@gmail.com, and you can chime in on any of the last minute quick Nick comments that he had at the end of the show, like we did with the cell phone. If you can engage with your cell phone can stay away from it for the first hour from social media. So we'll always have those quick Nick comments at the end of the show. So appreciate that when you laid out, Nick. Now we got a challenge on how to monitor our social media behavior. And we can, you know what, I'm going to put it back out there. So any of our viewers or listeners, let's see how long it take us to get to that hour. So right now we're at 10 minutes. So we're going to be checking in every now and then with your emails to see who can actually get to that hour point. Because like I said, I was 4 out of 7. I'm gonna see if I can go 7 out of 7, and Nick's gonna give us his updates and see what he can do as well. So how about that?
Sound like a accountability club we got going on here.
I mean, hey, why not make it a thing, right? You know,
yeah.
make it a thing. You know, so yeah, cool. So with that being said, man, what's up with you, man? How's things going on your side of the world, man?
Life is great, you know. I know the topic today is coaching. I'll say this: dating a coach is interesting because now everything feels like a championship game on the line. I was pushing a cart in the grocery store the other day. She's like, "Come on, turn left, quickly, pick right." I'm like, "Damn, calm down."
Wow. That competitive, huh?
No, it's interesting how there's so many different types of coaching that we got going on. You know, there's sports coaching, you got business coaching, relationship coaching. It just goes in so many different directions.
Yeah, that's for sure. And you know, it's helpful, right? You get the good coach in the right situation, can lead to victories in certain spaces and areas of our life. So it's always
Absolutely.
good. It's always good. So speaking of coaches, we got a great guest on the show today, Russell A. Hicks. Russell A. Hicks is featured in Business Enterprise Magazine, and he's a first place winner of the Cricket Wireless Solo Entrepreneur Community Star Award. He's named one of Philadelphia's most innovative entrepreneurs by Philadelphia Magazine and Daily News, and one of the most influential 10 people to watch under the age of 40 from the Philadelphia Tribune. And I can go on and on talking about all the accolades and great stuff that Russell A. Hicks has done. The founder of Ebony Suns. We're glad and excited to have on Community Voice PHL Talk Show, Russell A. Hicks, my me brother. How's it going, man?
Oh, man, blessed by the best. Glad to be here. Glad to see you again. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad that you were able to finally get on our show. We feel honored, man, to have a celebrity of your status on our show, man. It's almost as if we should ask for autographs or something.
Absolutely.
You know?
Oh, man. I signed some checks, though. You got some checks for me, I'll sign.
Well, I mean, we need to checks on this side, man. We need to checks on this side. But no, we definitely appreciate you.
Let's trade. We could trade checks.
We sure enough trade checks. I mean, if you still take checks, I mean, you ain't seen my account, but if you take a check,
hey,
I give you.
I take check, cash, crypto, cash app, all forms of currency.
I hear you. That's what's up. So listen, man, we again appreciate you seriously being on the show. I gave a little bit of a bio about what you are and what you've done, but give our viewers and listeners a little bit more about Russell A. Hicks and Ebony Suns before we jump into our conversation.
Yeah. So, I'm from Chicago, born and raised. And so you can hear I'm not from Philly. I can't pronounce Ball or John. So, but I've been here since 2000, creating impact in communities of color. My background, Howard University, School of Business, 2000, moved to Philadelphia for my first job out of college. Been here ever since, helping people start and grow companies. My background is in business development and workforce development and communities of color since 2000, and really supporting schools, so youth entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, Black entrepreneurs are my target market and people that I've impacted over the years. And I continue to do that. Nowadays is helping businesses go green, to make green and to do good with their green in terms of that social impact and that environmental impact. So we consult businesses, startups, mid-sized to more corporate, larger employers on how to go green and how to implement a triple bottom line into their business mission, model, and operations. So, that's what we're doing now. And yeah, man, just, living the dream and impacting people, doing what I love.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So in the space of the entrepreneur, before we get into the green space or green area that you're working in, the level of entrepreneur and coaching, what got you into that? What motivated you to step into that lane? Because from your background, you could be in corporate America doing this, but what got you into the space of
Yeah, you're right. Oh my God. Sometimes I think I should have went corporate instead of nonprofit, but I came to the community. So I, not for the money, for the mission. And so that's what I did. Instead of corporate, I went to, the Enterprise Center in 2000. So I've been coaching since 2000. And so I think one of the councilwomen said, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. So it's been since 25 years of business coaching. Businesses of color, whether they be startups or mid-size, and helping them grow through contracts in the public and private sector, hiring, 5 employees, 10 employees on up, and just helping, young people, get jobs and start businesses and realize, their purpose and their passions as well.
Yeah. And we both connected through Be Me, Black Male Engagement. And you were one of the initial winners of their funding, 20K or something in that range. But was that the turning point for you, or were you always in that space, and was that just something that assisted?
Oh no, that was just part of the journey. That was, I would say, towards the beginning of me getting into full entrepreneurship mode. So I, worked at the Enterprise Center, done a lot of coaching there. I went into education for a minute in the classroom and administration. Then started my own business. So that grant allowed me to service a client who, needed a, grant funding for a youth program called FLASH, Future Leaders Advance and Self-Help, which one of those students ended up winning Beat Me after that. And so one of my students, I, was successful duplicating myself. I told him not to forget about the small people when he got big, but I think he did. But, it's, just, it was a continuation. I was able to impact a lot of young people through that program with those funds. And it was through OIC of America, who I partnered the partnership and the funds and the programming with. So I was happy to do that because of Reverend Leon Sullivan and his background, and his son, Howard Sullivan, who I had been a friend with at the time. So that's what the reasons why I did that program. At the time, it was the mayor was talking about, flash mobs and young people being on the streets and creating havoc. And we were trying to develop something constructive for them to lean into their leadership and to entrepreneurship.
So I'm gonna let Nick jump in, because I know he knows and understands the importance of coaching in various different aspects. But let's get into a conversation about business coaching. Is there various levels to that? And what's the keys to being a good business coach? Because being a good athletic coach, it just takes a lot of yelling, right? Just yell at them hard enough, you can be a good athletic coach. And I'm being humorous, but what is the difference, and what are some of the key aspects of being a good business coach, and how that correlates in shaping character and the people you are coaching?
Well, it's a difference between the novice and a niche expert. So there's a lot of novice on social media these days, doing this, and one day and next day they're doing, $1 billion business. None of us are there yet. I'm gonna tell you, it's all of us. We're all working to get there. We're not all, balling out of control. But, it's discipline and training to develop a skill set. It's honoring your craft, going to school and actually learning the craft. And there's no shortcuts. And so people can encourage you and talk to you. You have to do the work. And so, once you've done the work, you have the knowledge the skills and the experience to say you've done that, and this is what I do, and this is what I can do for you. And so coaching, yeah, it's a lot of coaches. Some people, unfortunately, are getting got out there, because they're signing up with folks that don't have that expertise and real experience. And they're, marketing themselves as this, but they're not really that. So you got to do your research and background, look at their resume. So you can check my resume.
Yeah, if they check your resume, they're gonna have to be a good reader, I tell you.
Yeah, I was reading for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm an old head. They call it in Philadelphia here.
Nah, man, you don't look a day over 25. Stop playing. or is that a filter you got on? But
no, man. Hey, black don't crack, man.
Oh, that's a fact. I was gonna get into something you said about the leadership because like you said, a lot of people have to go through these things to actually teach what they're talking about. So for yourself personally, what would you say are some of the obstacles and hurdles that you had to get over?
Wow. So one, being black, in corporate America or in any job, scenario, you have to face racism, classism in terms of being poor and poverty. My family was middle class. It was able to support me in a 2-parent household, so I was able to see that leadership in the home first, and going through my childhood. But even that, my mom, urging me to get as much education as possible. Venturing out to go to Howard, even when my counselors told me not to, that it's a party school and you're going to not be successful. And so leaning into your own faith and focus. You have to be a leader, not a follower, and kind of focus on faith and what you believe in yourself, and then going out there and prove it to yourself. It's not about what other people think and say, because they will see the fruits of your labor. So for me, leadership is all about listening and learning first, and service. It's all not about making money at first. You have to really, want to do it. You got to want to wake up and do it, because it is hard work. Anytime you have to work with people, it's hard work. Now, the machines are coming, and AI and all that. So, we'll see in terms of efficiency. But even that, the leadership in that, making sure that we put an emphasis on evolving humanity first, as we evolve technology. So, leadership is all about kind of caring about people, and impacting people, and intending the best for them, and delivering good for them.
That's what's up. So, in following up on that and transitioning over to your work in green space, how does that transition work? How do you coach people who are so traditional in their approach to business to get them to understand the impact that they can have in whole ecology of it all?
That's a good word, ecology, because it is an ecosystem. We're all here on Earth. If we don't have the Earth, we don't have business or people. So it is trying to transition their mindset and behavior around just profit and making money to people, profit, and planet. Because if you do those things well, you can make even more money by doing the right thing. And so, unfortunately, in the atmosphere climate where, we're going backwards, not forward, but it's an evolution of thought in terms of humanity around business. Transitioning to a triple bottom line won't hurt the bottom line, actually will help the bottom line. So sustainability and good sustainable practices leads to profitability, and that's what we show companies. And so that going green is a values driven model, and it's about a value add, and what can you add value to, and sustaining not only the earth, on the macro level, but your local community on your micro level. So how does that look for you? Who are the local people in your community supporting you? And how do you show up for them and support them, impact them? And so it is a mutual relationship, and working with CEOs, HR professionals, and C-level executives, and shifting their mindset to a triple bottom line is that work, and showing that how it can, sustainability leads to profitability as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. So Nick, when we have coaches like that, what do you think impacts their level of work in the community? Is it the creativity or is it the resourcefulness?
That's a good question. I would say both.
You would say
I
both?
would say both, yeah, because a lot of the times, we get used to doing things one way, and it might not work that way. Like different communities need different things, so now we need to find a creative approach to do something differently to, really impact those people that they can truly benefit from.
Yeah, that's what's up. You agree with that, Russ? Is it fall into that
Oh,
category for you?
wholeheartedly. You got to be creative and resourceful. And we know that in our community. So if you have nothing, you have to make something. We don't have everything, but we have something. So it is making something out of nothing sometimes, being creative and being resourceful with each other. It's power and unity and working together, but really figuring out who does what well, so you're not overstepping each other and having that crab in the barrel kind of effect is more, symbiotic and complementary. And so, I may do this well, you may do that well. We all don't do everything well. So, making sure that we can be resourceful in our respective strengths and then complement the weaknesses with other people's strengths.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And as always, this show, the half-hour segment, goes a lot quicker than we normally would like. And we're trying to get in a space where we can have more time because we're wrapping up on this moment what we have with Russell A. Hicks from Ebony Suns. So, Russell, if you could leave anything with our viewers and listeners about coaching, about entrepreneurship, what would be 3 solid nuggets that you could share with them? And then share with them how they can get in contact with you to further support you in your work and kind of lean on your advice and expertise.
Well, I want to encourage everyone to commit to themselves and to whatever their dream is on how you can impact the world and make it a better place, because we need that in these times. I want to encourage business owners, government officials, public sector and private sector to consider sustainability, philanthropy, and going green, making green, and doing good with that green. I know we're going back to gas and oil, but consider the demands for new energy sources. We have the sun. So if you want solar, you want EV, give me a call. We're in, the EV business in terms of fleets and parking lots, solar for properties and facilities to bring down your utility costs. We need electricity to power homes and businesses, and that's not going away. So I encourage the use of renewable energy. We even want to work with PICO as we're value add diversity supplier for conductors for power lines. So being if we get a few orders, we can impact the community greatly in terms of the people we hire. And just to, call me about any business need that you have. Go to ebonysuns.com to subscribe to our newsletter, keep in contact via social media, and schedule a one-on-one business needs assessment for free. And then we can go from there. If you need, help and assistance, you can sign up for one of our packages on the Get Started page at ebonysuns.com. Star, Superstar, and Solar System for our startup businesses, mid-size and more larger companies. We have ways for you to support and to sustain your business through the triple bottom line. So I encourage people to do their research, to gain a skill, and to get busy with adding value to people, adding people to the planet. And it's good being in the place to be here with you, Jeff. Thanks for having me, and hopefully you invite me back again.
Oh no, we'll definitely have you back again. So is there a social media platform that you want? Is it all Ebony Suns?
All my links is on the website, LinkedIn, is Ebony Suns. Instagram is Ebony Suns. Facebook is Ebony Suns. It's all Ebony Suns.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure so that when people start searching for you, they don't miss you, whatever platform they're on. Some folk have favorite platforms. Like we're mainly only on Instagram, so we just want to make sure you covered all of those. So when people reach out, they reach out at the favorite platform that they're on. But we definitely
the at symbol. Yep. The at symbol Ebony Suns. EBONYSUNS.
Yep. We'll have all that in the show notes, so the comments and everything, so that you'll be able to follow Russell A Hicks on Ebony Suns, get the information that you need to, be able to benefit from his level of expertise in coaching that he could offer you to sustain your business in a sustainable way. And I know you said go green and get that green. You might have to explain that because they might be thinking just money, but I know you mean more than just that. So we appreciate you, good brother, for being on the show, man. And like I said, we'll definitely have you back on. So that's Russell A Hicks from Ebony Suns, founder and establisher of Ebony Suns, and we appreciate you again for being on the show.
Thank you, and make sure you do good with that green and circulate that money amongst each other.
That's what's up. That's the key part about it. If it's not circulating, it's not making an impact. If it's not making an impact, it's not making a difference. So we got to make the dollar circulate in our community to make the impact that we need. So appreciate you, good brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care and have a good one.
Peace.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. So yeah, Nick, that was Russell Hicks from Ebony Suns, another great guest we had on the show, sharing some really solid information. We talk about going green. It's not just, going secure the bad green. It's about, taking care of the earth, taking care of our communities, and sustaining ourselves in that space. So, man, it was a great, great guest on the show.
Absolutely. I thought he might go Eagles at first. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I mean, he said he's from Chicago, so I don't know if he really goes.
He might have got converted. You never know.
You never know. You never know. This is true. This is true. So when we bring him back on next time, we'll ask him whether he's a Bears or Eagles fan. And, there is a wrong answer, right?
No comment. I'm on radio.
I hear you. Well, speaking about being on radio, it's that time of the show we give I've dubbed it now the quick Nick comment. So what do you got for us, Nick, before we wrap up for today?
Quick Nick comments. That sounds like a new lottery play. All right. Well, to stay on topic, he spoke a lot about, working within your community to really build each other up and getting the parts that we need from each other and not being in that crab in the barrel mentality. Mm-hmm. So really checking in with our community and seeing how we can support more, because a lot of times we'll go see something that's a large corporation and it looks good and it looks fancy, but they don't do anything for the people. So why not spend that dollar in your community and have it circulating around so we can really build up our own platform so we don't have to go outside.
There you go. And that's a solid point right there. So there you go. We got another quick Nick nugget right there. So spend your dollar in your community and let us know how that works for you. And also stay away from your cell phone for the first hour of the day on social media. So Nick's laying down some solid self-help tools and self-improvement tools right there, community improvement tools. But I do like that one seriously, though, because we need to make sure that we keep our dollars circulating in our own community so that we can strengthen our own communities. Because I don't know if it's true, but the expression goes, the black dollar only stays in our community for about an hour or something like that before it leaves. It doesn't really circulate to hit the level of impact, whereas other dollars in other communities of ethnic backgrounds, it stays longer. So to your point, Nick, yeah, let's keep our dollars in our community. It's not like we're trying to hoard or trying to, disenfranchise ourselves from other institutions and places we can spend our money. But let's look at our home first. Let's look at our communities first, and let's keep our dollars here and see what type of impact that can truly make. And now let me add, though, let's keep our dollars in our local communities to communities that offer quality service.
Ooh, good point.
Yeah, because we don't want to be like, going to a place and it ain't quality service, because, we deserve our dollars to be spent in a way that can benefit us. So if it's not offering quality, then we have the right to go to a place that does offer that quality. So let's hopefully find those quality places in our community that are Black owned, minority owned, and let's support them and start from there. So appreciate that quick Nick nugget right there, my man. So appreciate that.
Yes, thank you for the add-on. Appreciate you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So that's all the time we have right now for this segment of Community Voice PHL Talk Show. If you want to follow us, hit us up on Instagram at Community Voice PHL. If you want to have a comment about this episode, any of our other episodes, send us an email to communityvoicephl@gmail.com. And thank you again for listening to Community Voice. And remember, if it's happening in your community, we need to hear your voice. Peace, and we are out.
Peace.